Why is it that American couples don't want to have kids? In fact, an increasing percentage of American couples are not only childless, but do not intend on having children in the future. This comes in a new Pew Research survey, and this also comes after 6 straight years of a declining birth rate in the United States. Now, according to the respondents in this survey, 44% of non-parents ages 18 to 49 say it's not too likely or not at all likely that they will have children someday, an increase of 7 percentage points from the 37% who said the same in 2018. Honestly, it doesn't surprise me at all that that number continues to rise, especially considering the lack of support American couples get in this country for having children. And then let's take a look at this graph, which shows that responses from adults who already have children have also indicated that they were slightly less likely to have additional children than the 2018 numbers. So for instance, it was 51% in 2018, and now it's 54% saying that it's unlikely that they're gonna have more children. And listen, it's fascinating because on one hand, you have these neoliberal economic thinkers arguing that we shouldn't have any type of support for American families. They're doing everything they can to destroy paid family leave, to destroy any chance of extending the child tax credits that the Biden administration passed under the COVID relief bill. But then on the other hand, they're like, oh my God, what are we gonna do? There aren't enough children to help fund these social spending programs that we have. We need to do something right away. Okay, how about don't create an environment where people feel increasingly uncomfortable having kids because there's no support? Okay, no childcare, you gotta pay for it out of your own pocket, and it's increasingly expensive. I mean, the childcare workers are making slave wages working at these places while parents are being charged an arm and a leg to the point where mothers are deciding, you know what, why am I even working? My entire paycheck is going toward childcare. Why don't I just stay home and take care of my own kids? I mean, it's become a complete and utter disaster. And these morons are like, wow. Why is it that an increasing number of American couples don't want to have children? Because this is the worst country to have children in, economically speaking. Anyway.
Okay, so now in the old days, there was a great number of reasons why everybody was pushed to have kids. One, look, naturally, people want to pass on their genes. It's an evolutionary instinct that we have. So that remains the same in the old days and today, right? But there are other factors involved. So back in the day, infant mortality was through the roof, and generally people died much younger and more often. So a lot of people would have a lot of kids because not a lot of them would survive. Even my grandmother, growing up in southeastern Turkey at the time, had 6 kids, only 2 survived. So that's why the culture set in, which was have as many kids as possible. Now, what did you do with the kids? Well, it wasn't just because they're like, oh, we think it'll make you happier. No, that's ridiculous.
They don't usually.
Yeah, no, not that it doesn't. My kids have made me very happy. It depends on your situation. I'll get to that in a second. But that wasn't why the old rules existed. The old rules weren't like, now make sure you do this, this, and this because it'll make you happy. No. Back in the day, the real reason was you needed boys in the fields, in the farms, to actually do the manual labor so the family could survive. You needed girls for other reasons, but also having to do with labor. And then honestly, they kind of halfway sold them off later for more money and dowries, etc., depending on your culture. And then finally, we needed more soldiers for the battles. So everybody was so tribal back when these old rules were written thousands of years ago that the Israelites needed more people in their army against the Canaanites and the Philistines. So what did they do in their text? They did propaganda. Kids, have kids. Don't be gay, by the way, that'll prevent more kids. Kids, because they needed armies and they needed labor. Okay, nowadays, well, those things don't make any sense anymore. I know some people are still following, a lot of people are still following rules from 2,000 years ago. But in the modern world, especially in America, we have incredibly low wages and we have no safety net at all. So one half of this country claims pro-life. We're not gonna help you at all. No childcare, no universal pre-K, no nothing at all to help you, right?
No paid family leave.
No paid family leave. The minute you have the kid, nothing but costs and incredibly low wages. And yes, a lot of us still have a biological drive to have kids, but some don't. And the new autonomy does help in that case. Now, the old school folks go, that doesn't help. I need more people for my armies and et cetera. And for my factories.
Great, pay us.
Yeah.
Pay us.
But for rational people, we go, well, if you want to have kids, great, have kids. You know, apparently you like it, right? If you don't want to have kids, then don't have kids. Why would I care what you do?
Yeah. No, I mean, it's also fascinating because people like Marco Rubio, Republican senator from Florida, loves to talk about how like the top economic fix in America is to have more children.
What is he talking about?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
That's insane.
But to be in a reunion, in a married relationship, and to have children, it's just like the most ridiculous nonsense ever. Especially when you look at how they actively destroy any opportunity to make this environment easier to be a parent. Now let's get into the reasons cited by the respondents. There was a difference between the older respondents and the younger respondents in regard to the reasons for why they don't want to have children. But I didn't like that this was even an option because what is this? Okay, so they asked them, what's your reason? And the majority, 56%, said they just don't want to have children. Okay, but why?
I know that doesn't explain it at all.
What does that even mean? And then they get into specifics, right? So as you can see in the graph, 19% cited medical reasons, very legitimate reason there. Only 17% cited financial reasons, and I'm not buying it. Like I think once you get rid of the they just don't want to have children answer, I would argue that the financial number would probably increase. But when you look at the younger respondents, that number is actually higher. So about a quarter of parents younger than 40 who don't expect to have more children in the future cite financial reasons, 26%, compared with 8% of those between the ages of 40 and 49.
And also the parents that are older, above 40, usually have more disposable income.
Right.
So if you're younger, you have a lot less income, and then it makes it even harder. So that's another reason why those numbers are not surprising.
Right, listen, if you're really concerned about couples increasingly refusing to have children, make the conditions better, a little more welcoming to new parents, because it's just not in this country. Look at how Denmark treats parents. I mean, they get like an insane amount of time off, right? Paid leave. You get like a freaking amazing luxury packed goodie bag at the hospital after you give birth. Like it's amazing. Like it's almost as if they value human lives and want to provide support for their citizens. It's nuts. It really is. It's crazy.
So guys, I have apparently a controversial opinion. I don't care if you have kids or not. Yeah. Hashtag freedom. Why do I care?
Yeah. Look, I don't care either, but I do care about making this a welcoming country for parents who do, for couples who do want to have children.
No, I think we should give them support. I said we should do the safety net so that in case you want to have kids, which a lot of people want to have kids, obviously, we help those families. If you have family values, you would want to help families.
Family values is just a campaigning, prop.
Yeah, which they don't even use anymore because they're so embarrassed of what Donald Trump and his porn star mistresses that they dropped a family values thing. It became inconvenient.
I mean, he's so pro-family that he had families with different women. It's okay.
Yes, he had families with multiple women and then cheated on them, et cetera. So look, bottom line is, if you want to have a family, we should support you. If you don't want to have a family, do whatever you want. It's a free country. I don't understand why the right wing wants to control every part of your life. Have kids, I'm gonna force you to have kids. Shut up and go away. We're Americans, we like to be free. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.